Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar today on setup and customization in Zoho CRM. My name is Manu and I'm happy to be delivering this webinar today. And in this webinar, we are going to take you through how Zoho CRM can adapt to your unique business needs without the need of any major coding expertise. Now, before we proceed with the webinar, let's take a look at a few basic things. In case you have any questions during the course of the webinar, please feel free to type them in the questions box that you see on your screen, and I'll receive them at my end, and I'll make sure that all of them are answered during the course of the webinar. We are also recording this session, so I'll send out a follow-up email after this webinar with this recorded version and few other useful links which might be helpful for you. You can refer back to this recording and the links anytime you want. In case you have other questions, you can also email us to support@zohocrm.com and get them clarified. And during the course of the webinar, I'll be running a few quick polls. There'll be a little pop-up on your screen. You just have to choose one of the relevant options for the questions. This will be very helpful for us to pass on the insights to the product team and improve on our product front. And during the course of the webinar, I will be using the Enterprise Edition of Zoho CRM. So some of the features might not be available in the edition that you choose. In the end of the webinar, I'll be sharing an Enterprise Edition trial link. You can just trial the Enterprise Edition for 15 days for free. Now that the ground rules are set, let's look at the next part of the webinar, where I request you to share your feedback on this webinar on Twitter by tagging us using @ZohoCRM or by using #ZohoCRM. When you do so, we'll receive them at our end, and I'm sure we'll read each and every of your feedback and reviews on this webinar. So this will be useful for us to improve the quality of our webinars in future. Now, having said that, in this webinar, we are going to look at how to set up your CRM account and what are the different aspects of your CRM that can be customized. Now, before we proceed, let's first try and answer the first and foremost basic question inside your mind. Why should you even customize your CRM? Is it not enough if you just start using the ready-made CRM system? Customizing your CRM is very important because your CRM and your business is going to be very, very unique. Each and every business is unique in terms of the processes that you follow or the culture of the company or the people involved. So each and every business is unique, even though it could be in the same industry, catering to the same audience, and it can also be in the same location, but still businesses are going to be different. And that's why every CRM should be customizable to suit the business's requirements. So talking about customization, what are the various features or aspects of Zoho CRM can be customized? In Zoho CRM, customization can extend right from customizing or adding your company's logo or your company settings, or you could also add your email signature, until it can also extend up to customizing your modules, layouts, fields, and email templates of your CRM. Now, this is very crucial because you don't require any specific coding skill to achieve this. This can be done by any person who's not specifically a techie. Now, first, let's look at how to customize your personal and company details of your CRM, because this is going to help you to make your CRM look and feel like that of your company's. Now, I'm going to drift away from the presentation to the CRM account and show you how to customize your personal and company settings. So in a browser, just type in crm.zoho.com and you're right into the CRM. Now, this is how your CRM might initially look like. Maybe if you have not added data, then you might not have these components, but this is the layout of the CRM. On the top right, you have a little profile-like icon, and onto the left, you have a little tools-like icon. Just click on the tools icon, and you are into the setup page of Zoho CRM. So this is the page where you access anything and everything inside the CRM. And today we are going to look at few sections like the general settings, where we will talk about personal settings and company details. Then we'll also talk about user management, users and control. And then we'll also go ahead and talk about customizing your modules, fields, layouts, and templates inside your Zoho CRM. Let's first go to personal settings. Your personal settings can be customized by each and every user of your CRM. You could add your designation, you could add your email ID and your official mobile number. You can also add your social media pages here. And you can just click on the pen icon and you can choose the language of your CRM, the country you're from, and you can also choose the time format, which will be reflected in the calendar option and also in your shift hours. You can choose a 12-hour or 24-hour option. You could also choose a time zone based on your location. So this is basically all of your locale information. You can customize it based on your need. And then comes your email signature. So any email that you send from the CRM, you can also attach this signature that you create here. This is pretty much like your letterhead of your company. You can just customize it. You can just click on this pen button. You have a lot of formatting options for you to customize the signature. And the most fun part here is you could also change the theme of the CRM based on your specific color preference. Now, in case you're a fan of red, you can just change the CRM looking red on the top. So this will reflect on all the pages in the CRM. So this is a personal setting. So every user of the CRM can go ahead and make all of the changes here inside the CRM. Now let's go ahead and look at the company details. On to your left, under General, you have Company Details. All the settings here can be done by an administrator of the Zoho CRM account. And whatever detail or whatever feature or information is set here is applicable for the entire organization. So here you have your business name and your domain of your business. You can enter your business email ID, your business mobile number. You can just click on this pen button and you can enter all of the information for your company. Similarly, you can also enter the locale information, and here you can choose your home currency, and by clicking on manage multiple currencies, you can add up to 10 currencies and their conversions. And you can also add the exchange rate and add up to 10 currencies here. And this multi-currency feature is an Enterprise Edition specific feature. Just because I'm using the Enterprise Edition for this demo, I'm finding this currencies option. But in case you're trialing any other product or any other edition, you might not find this option. You could also send us an email to support@Zoho CRM to test and try this edition. However, I'll be sharing you the Enterprise Edition trial link. You can just trial the Enterprise Edition for free for 15 days. Let's look at fiscal year, and for certain companies, the fiscal year is just the calendar year, or for you, if it is February to March, you can just define your fiscal year, this is your financial year. You can also define your business hours. So your business hours can be from Monday to Friday, or it could be 24/7. If you are a service industry, probably you might want to work 24/7 and so on. You can just define your business hours here. You can also add the Christmas holidays or any other holidays here and also assign it to the users based on their shifts. You can just create a holiday list and you can select a specific shift in order to do this. Now here, you can also choose a hierarchy preference. Now if you have 50 users of your CRM, you can choose how you want to share your data among your users. It could be based on role hierarchy or it could be based on reporting hierarchy. We'll understand further about roles, profiles, and hierarchy in the upcoming session. That's going to be about roles and permissions. Now, the first step after adding your profiles and company information or the personal setting information, the first step that you would do is to add your users of your CRM and then set roles and permissions to each one of them. Now, if there are going to be 20 users for your CRM, if there are going to be 30 users, not all of them will have the same level of access or usage level inside the CRM. So that's why you have roles which define what a user can see inside the CRM, and you have profiles which determine what a user has access to do inside the CRM. Now let's see how to do this inside the CRM account. So let me take you to the CRM. You just have to go to Setup. You find these options under Users and Control. Let's first add the users, and then later on we'll assign roles and permissions to each one of them. Let's go to Users. Here you can just click on this Add New User button. You may enter the name of the user, and you can also enter the email ID of this user. And the email ID that you enter here is pretty much tied up, and in case you want to change it in future, you have to approach one of the admins of your CRM who will have access to change your email ID associated with your account. Here you can choose what role this user performs in your CRM. Now here I'm choosing a team leader, so this person whom I'm adding is a team leader in my CRM. So I'm choosing a team leader's profile. So this will define what all access or what all permissions does a team leader have inside your CRM. Now when you hit save, an email invite will be sent to this user, and all users who have unconfirmed, who have not confirmed the email, will be marked with a little I symbol, and all active users are marked with a little green dot here. So here you can just choose this drop down and pick unconfirmed users, and for some reason if the user hasn't received an email link or if the link has expired, you may just select all of these users and then choose Reinvite option. This will send a fresh invitation to all of the users who have not confirmed their emails, and they can just now click on the link and create a password. By doing so, they'll be a part of your CRM. Now, what if you want to deactivate the license for a person who's quitting your organization? So you don't want this user to have access to the data inside your CRM. Now you may just select this user and then choose a deactivate button. Now once you do so, this license of this person would be held and it is still with you. You can just add another user and revoke this license, and the user who quits your organization will no longer have access to the data inside your CRM. So this is all about adding, removing, and managing users. Now let's look at security control onto your left. Security control is specifically a place where you manage the security of your data. You have different levels of managing this security. The first level of data security is by roles. Now, if you read the simple definition here, roles determine how your data is shared among your users of your CRM based on your users' role hierarchy. Now here you're going to be building your organization's hierarchy inside the CRM, and based on the user's position in the organization's hierarchy, the data sharing or how the data shared is different. Now just you just have the company information here, and the first person who sets up the CRM account is by default taken as a CEO. Now you may just click on this plus button, or you may choose this add new role button. Now you can type in the new role name, and you can also choose who this person is going to be reporting to. Now in case you have 4 or 5 team leaders, you can just enable share data with peers so that they can freely exchange data between them. If you choose otherwise, you may just leave this box unchecked. So we would recommend you to go by a top-down approach where you first add your CEO and then you add your directors or your managing directors, and then you add your managers under each director. Similarly, add your team leaders under each manager or supervisor, and then your sales representative. So this will be easy for you to build your hierarchy inside your CRM. Now, the CEO is a prime contact of your CRM, so he or she has all of the data access inside the CRM. He can see the data held by every person inside the organization. On the other hand, the director who reports to the CEO, every director who reports to the CEO cannot see the CEO's information, but the directors can see the manager's data, team leader's data, and the sales representative's data. If the director 1 has chosen share data with peers, then director 1, director 2, and director 3 can share data between the 3 of them. So that's how your higher up inside your Zoho CRM can see the data held by you, but you can't see the data held by the higher up. This is one stage of how data is shared between the users. You could further control how the data is shared between the users by using the data sharing settings. You can just click on this data sharing settings, and here you will have some modules inside the CRM. Now you can just choose one of the modules and keep them as private, public read only, or public read, write, or delete. However, we would recommend you not to pass on this public read, write, or delete options to too many users inside your CRM, because that will leave your CRM pretty risky and the data will be accessible to all of the users, which you don't want to have. This is stage 2 of data sharing. There's still further option for you to share data inside the CRM. And here, if you see this data sharing rules, by default, the data held by the CEO cannot be seen by the sales representative. But if the CEO chooses to share specific information with the sales rep, he could do that. Now, say for example, your CEO wants to discuss about a specific record inside the CRM. Say if you have given 20% discount to a specific record, but the allowable limit is just 15. Now the CEO wants to discuss about this to you, so he first shares this record to you. Now he does not want to inform your manager about this unless you discuss. So there's a rule to create it. So you have this new sharing rule. Just click on the add new sharing rule. So now we are going to be choosing a record. So which record would you want to choose? Records are shared from groups or roles or subordinates. So here I choose a role, which is a CEO. The CEO wants to share a record to a role who is a sales representative. Now here the access type can be read only or read, write, or delete. So here there's just going to be a discussion. So I just choose read only, and I don't check this box superiors allowed because I don't want to notify the team leader and the manager until there's a preliminary round of discussion. So if I create sharing rule, the CEO can share specific records with the sales representative and discuss it further. So this is how you can control how data is shared between the users inside your CRM. Now let's look at profiles. Profiles in Zoho CRM determine the permissions of a user of various accesses. Say for example, you can either view, you can either create or delete data or information inside the CRM, but not all of them should have the capability to do all of these actions. To control this, you have profiles. Initially, you will be having the administrator profile and the standard profile. The administrator profile is very much open and you have all the permissions like view, create, edit and delete permissions enabled, and you have module permissions, setup permissions and extension permissions enabled for an administrator. Now there are certain permissions here, they are enabled, and if you try to disable any of them, you can't do this because having an administrator profile is a way to inform the CRM that any person who has this administrator permission should have access to all of these. So if you try and change them, then the system will not be able to understand who a proper admin is. So that's why these system-defined permissions cannot be altered. Now let's go back and look at the standard profile. If you just scroll down a bit, there are certain permissions that are disabled and you can't go and edit any of these. Now the standard profile is much restricted compared to the administrator profile. So that's why the standard profile is much suitable for a sales representative or an entry-level manager. Alright, now if you see these permissions cannot be enabled and the admin level permissions are all disabled. You can't enable any of them. Now let's take a scenario where you want to create a new profile which is very much like a standard profile, but you have certain admin rights enabled, which is suitable for a team leader. Now how do you do that? You could just go back and choose the ellipse option and clone the standard profile and rename the profile to team leader. So that's how I've come up with this team leader profile. And if you see here, the admin level permissions can be enabled now. You may just switch on or off this toggle switch and create a permission on your own. You could also click on this drop down and you may check or uncheck these checkboxes to alter the permissions. Now if you go back, there'll be a new profile called the team leader profile, which can be assigned to one of the team leaders inside your CRM. So this is all about roles, profiles, and data sharing inside your CRM. Now once you have achieved until this stage of Zoho CRM, the next step is to customize your CRM and the different aspects in it. You can customize your modules, layouts, and fields inside your CRM, and pretty much without any coding skill. Let's first look at creating the modules and then customizing your modules in your CRM. And then we look at creating layouts, multi-page layouts, and then having custom fields and so on. Now I'll take you to the CRM and tell you how to create a module. Modules in your Zoho CRM is nothing but the tabs on the top. So whatever you find on the top in the tab section is a module. You can click on this ellipse and find the extra modules here. Now these modules help you to traverse smoothly between your sales process automation. A person who's an enquiry for your campaign or any advertisement activity is a lead. Now once this person shows an interest, you move this person to a contact and save the contact information, that is the company, under accounts. So you will know how many businesses or how many companies are doing business with you. And then when the user wants to open a deal, you move this person or you open a deal for this record. So this helps you to traverse from your lead stage to a deal stage smoothly inside the CRM. That is why you have different modules in the CRM to manage different stages of your sales process automation. Now for your business, if you don't want some of these modules, you can edit them. You just have to go to Setup. Under Customization, you have Modules and Fields. Listed below are all of the modules in your CRM. Now, if you don't want to see all the modules here, You may just choose the Organize modules, and you may just uncheck these checkboxes of the modules that you don't want to see on the top. They are still inside the CRM, but you're just not seeing them right away. You may also drag and drop the order in which the modules appear inside your CRM. So if you see, the order of the modules will get changed. Leads is a name that we have given for the enquiries that you get for your business. Now, in case you want to call them as prospects, you may just hover over the module and choose rename, and then you can rename it to prospects and you can save. You could also call your deals module as opportunities if you want. Now, if you scroll down a bit, there are two little modules with a little green color mark here. These are nothing but user created modules. Now, I'm going to be creating a buyer module now. So let me take an example of a real estate business owner. Now, in case you're one real estate business owner, you might have different types of buyers coming for your properties. Now, you have different properties like housing property and commercial properties and office spaces. Now, you get different types of leads from various sources. Now, how do you record these informations in one single module? Now, you just have to click on Create New Module button. On the top left, you have to enter the name for this module, which is the buyer's module. The singular form is a buyer. So once you save the name of the module, if you see, the fields inside the module will get affected. So the name will be reflected into these field names. You may add an image if you want. Say if you are a recruitment agency and you want to add the profile image of a user, of a aspirant, you can just click on this option and you can upload an image. So I just switch it off because I don't require any image inside my layout. Now I'll just explain this page so that you'll feel comfortable with the components on this page. On the top left, you enter the module name, and just below that you have a set of fields that we offer for your layouts. And what you build here in the center stage is the layout of your module. If you have 20 plus field types, you can just drag and drop a field of your choice. Now you may also choose this and delete a field if it's not required. Now I don't want this field, so I can just remove this field. You could either delete it permanently or you could just move it to the unused field section on the bottom left section. Now I'm going to be adding a drop down, which is a buyer type drop down. So here I'm going to type the buyer type as residential and commercial. So any field that you drop down from the field list and you edit it based on your interest is called a custom field. Now you have custom fields, so you can add up to 310 custom fields in one layout or multiple layouts. Now we have some special fields inside the CRM. If you see, there's a new section. So this is a set of another field. Now, like this is a buyer information. And if the buyer has any property history, if the buyer has got more than one property from you earlier, you can just type it here. So property. And here you can just add fields like property name. And then you can add a date and time field, which is year of purchase, and so on. So this will be a separate section. Now you could also add a subform, which is nothing but it allows you to have multiple fields or field items inside your CRM's layout. We'll be talking about subforms in detail in later parts of the webinar. Now this is how you can build a new module inside the CRM, and then you can customize it based on your need. Now, in case you are a support, if you do a support business, so you are an engineering works company, and you also do trading, like you sell and you also help people buy your products. Now, after they buy your products, you also do service to them. So you can just add a service module inside your layout. So this is one example for which you would want to customize your CRM. So that's all about adding a module inside the CRM. Now, I told you that there are two types of buyers who are coming into my business every day. So instead of managing one layout, having one layout for all the business types or for all the lead types, what I could do is I can create different layouts inside one single module. Now, it also allows me to pick between the layouts when I'm creating a record inside my CRM. So this will help me to categorize my leads and also keep the CRM clutter-free. I will take you to the module again. So this is the standard layout that you've created. Now you can just choose this option, gear option on the top, and then rename the module, or you can just save this layout. And once you save the layout, there'll be a little drop down on the top. So this standard will change into a drop down. And when you click on the drop down, you will find a create new layout option. So once you do this, whatever layout changes you've made in the past will get copied or will get duplicated. So if you see the buyer image is switched off, and there's this field that you added earlier, so that has also gotten duplicated. Now here I don't want this section, so I can just delete the section here. Instead, I would add another field if I want, or I will just add a social tab in case I want it. Now I'm going to customize this layout, and I'm going to rename it as residential layout. So this layout is the layout which I'll be using to record the information of my leads who inquire about a residential property. Now here I want to add a section where I want to have property details or document details. So here I want the user to send me a URL of their Google Drive after uploading certain documents inside the Google Drive, scan copies of the documents. So this is all about the residential layout. So I will be sharing the rent agreement with the buyer or the tenant, and I'm just going to share the link, or I'm just going to add the link. And after signing the copy, the tenant can again send it to me back using the link. I'll just copy paste this link here. Now I just click on save. Now I've saved this new layout inside my module. Now I may again click on the same drop down and choose create new layout again. Now here you can choose to clone any of the pre-created layouts. Now I'll choose a residential layout. And here if you see, whatever changes I made in the residential layout will get duplicated. So I'm naming it as commercial layout. And here in this layout, I want to add other fields. So let me first add the let me first delete this section, and let me add a multi-select lookup, or I just add a file upload, and then I'm going to add a subform, maybe so property details. So in this, I can add multiple line items like name of the property, and then I add a date field, which is year of purchase, and so on. And I also add a currency field, which is amount paid. and discount offer. This is a percentage field, which is a discount offer. Now I just save this layout. Now if you see, I have created two different layouts for each of the buyer types inside my module called buyers. Now where do I see this? Now I'm sitting inside my office and there are two people walking into my office willing to buy my property. Now the first person who comes in is her name is Linda, and she wants to buy a residential property from me. Now what I do is I just go to the modules and choose the buyer module. I just click on create buyer and name it as Linda. And if you see here, the buyer name is marked with a red mark, which means the buyer name is a mandatory field, and you can't submit this record without entering the data field here. Now you can just choose the drop down on the top and choose a particular layout, and Linda is a residential property buyer. So I enter the details here and save. I successfully created a record inside my buyer module. But if you see here, just having Linda inside my CRM or the information, having only the buyer name is actually not sufficient. So I have to make other fields which are much more important to me as mandatory. So you just have to go to setup, under modules and fields, you have to go to the buyer module, and inside each of the layouts, you just have to go to the layouts, and here you can just click on the layout. You can click on any of the fields and mark the field as required. So I have marked the email field as required in my both modules, in my both layouts. Now I've saved this, and if I just refresh my buyer module, now if I try to create the commercial buyer, I just pick this drop down and choose a commercial layout. You may also click on this edit page layout and make the changes. So that is for easy navigation. So here you can choose mark as required. And now you save. If you just refresh this page, if you see, the email field will also be marked as mandatory. Now the person who buys from me is Rachel. So Rachel is looking for an office space. So I'm just entering the email ID. Now if I do not enter this email ID, if I just try to save this record, there'll be an error message throwing up. So I just enter it as enter the email ID. So now I'll be able to save the record. So this is all about multiple layouts inside your CRM, which will help you to manage different types of information inside the CRM within just one module. You have certain limits for the number of modules that you create. So using page layouts, you can have control over the modules that you create and manage the different types of information under layouts rather than creating different modules. Next, we are going to look about subforms. I've given you a heads up earlier, but I'll just take you back and then show you what subforms are. Now, imagine there's a buyer who has gotten more than 3 properties from you already, and he's going to buy a 4th property from you. Now, you want to give a big discount for this person because he's been consecutively buying properties from you. Now, instead of looking at different record values or different places for this information, now I'll just go back to commercial layout, and here I have this subform called property details. Now here I have name, year of purchase, amount, and then discount. So this is nothing but a table and a line of items. Like if you are an FMCG company or if you are say a beauty parlor business, if you own a beauty parlor business, and there's a person who's been repeatedly visiting your parlor very often, and he's a repeat customer or she's a repeat customer. So you can just look at the past purchases under the record information, and you can choose to give a membership or you can choose to give a free option for this buyer. Now just get back and then I'll show you in detail. Now let me create a buyer, and I'm going to create a commercial buyer. So I choose a commercial layout, and here I choose a name for the buyer, and the buyer type is commercial. So here if you see, I have property details, which is a subform. So Anna has bought in a property from me in Orchard Palace, or that's some place that I've built. So that was way back in March 2006. So Anna bought this at $3,000, and then I gave her 10% discount. And later on, Anna bought another property from me, which is Tulip. So here I can choose a year of purchase, which is so here adding to depreciation, I just give her further discount and maintain this to 3,200, even though it is 4 years, and I've given her 15% discount. And now Anna's buying another property from me, has bought another property from me June last year. The same 2,500 and the same 15% because it's one year difference. Now this year Anna has come to me for another product, so I enter a name, and this time I want to give her a huge discount because she's come to me for several times. I want to give her 20% or 25% discount. Now I save this. If you just go back to buyers and if you open Anna's record, you will see all of the past purchases Anna has made, and you will also know what are the discounts you've given her. You can add multiple line items, and you can save creating many records inside the CRM for just one person inside the CRM. So that's how you can associate multiple line items into one single record using subforms in Zoho CRM. Okay, so there are high chances that you keep adding desired fields, and that could be a lot of fields inside one single layout. Often it happens that you have multiple layouts, but you end up not entering the details for even few layouts, a few fields inside the layout. Say, for example, if you are an insurance agency and you are selling insurance for vehicle insurance, and you're also having insurance types for auto insurance or life insurance and travel insurance. Now, if you have one specific layout for all these three different types of insurance, you might not be entering the details of all these types for a person who is coming for a travel insurance. You're going to leave the other fields unfilled. So you don't want to see these fields inside the CRM. So how do you manage these fields, and how do you control the way in which the fields appear based on another field value? So that's using conditional fields or layout rules. Now let me take you to Zoho CRM account, and under modules and fields, I have a specific module created. Now let me first show you the layout which does not have any rule applied. Then I will also show you a layout for which rules have been applied. Now comparing both, you will know how clutter-free your CRM account can get when you apply these conditional fields. Now let me go to insurances module, and I'm going to create the insurer 1. Now the insurance type is life insurance. So this person is going to buy life insurance from me, and the policy holder is Miranda. Now, if you see, there are a lot of other fields. This person is not going to buy any other insurance from me. I'm just going to fill the name for this life insurance section. So I just enter the details here, and then the current of marketing agent, marital status is single. So I just save this record. Now if you see, these are the other fields which have not been filled, and these are not necessary in this case at all. So it has to be controlled. Now I'll show you another layout which has rules applied. Now you just choose another layout. Now here, if you see, you just have a simple layout, and here when you choose life insurance, you just look at the fields that are relevant to life insurance alone. You don't look at auto insurance fields, or you don't look at travel insurance fields. So this is going to let your CRM look much less clutter-free. Further, you also, in life insurance, you have this field called marital status. So you choose one of the options. Now if you choose married, only then fields like dependents and child name or everything else appears. Now how do you control all of this and make your CRM's layouts look less clutter-free, less cluttered? You can just go to setup, under modules and fields. You can just create modules. I just choose the module for which I want to apply the rules. So there's a tab on the top that says layout rules. So here I've already created a rule on the other layout. So let me create a new layout rule. So the layout rule which I'm going to choose here is insurance type. I give the same name here. Now I have to choose a layout on which I want to apply this layout rule. Let me choose a standard layout because I have not applied any other rule there. So I want to choose a field which controls this rule. The field here is the insurance type. So the insurance type is life insurance. And here, if the insurance type is life insurance, you can either show fields or show sections, or you can also set mandatory fields. Let's look at each one of these. Now let me choose sections, where I choose life insurance. Now initially, an insurance agent should first choose the insurance type, and following that there'll be a section that says life insurance and fill in the details. Similarly, if the life insurance is auto insurance, then show the section that is called auto insurance section. Now it is also critical to create your layout in such a manner that you have sections or you have appropriate fields and sections. Now here I choose travel insurance, and I want to show only the travel insurance section. Now further, to each and every action, you can add other actions, like you can choose to trigger another action, and here I want to choose show fields. So here I want to choose this marital status when the marital status, let me delete this. Now I want to add another rule, like I'm adding another condition, which is marital status. When the marital status is married, I want certain fields to appear, which is, so I choose show fields, and here I choose dependents and children. Further, I can still add other rules like child name rule. So here I choose a new rule. When the child just give me a moment. When the number of children is 1, you want to add another field which says the child name is mandatory. So you can trigger an action that says set mandatory fields, and here the child name has to be mandatory. So this field will be marked as mandatory. Now let's get back and then look at the layout now, because this layout rule has been applied. Now let me take you to the insurance module. And now I'm going to try and create a record inside the standard layout. If you see, all of the fields have now disappeared. And if I just choose life insurance, I see only the life insurance section. And here I choose married as my marital status. So that's when dependents and child name appears, and the child name is made mandatory. You can just enter nil, or if you have a child, you can just enter the name of the child and save. So this is how you can control how the fields appear inside your layout, so that you can make your CRM look much clutter-free and easy for you to manage your data and information. Another feature that we are going to look at is validation rules. This feature is at most important for you because this is the feature that lets you to control wrong data entering your CRM. Say, for example, you don't want wrong mobile numbers getting into your CRM, or you don't want wrong email types getting into your CRM, or just in this case, for your organization-wide discount rates, you set it as 20%, and if any salesperson who exceeds, when this number goes about 20, any person who enters this about 20, you get this notification. Now let me show this inside the CRM first. Now there's a salesperson in your team who's going to close a deal. So the deal name is, so there's a courier deal, and the account name is Lightbox Pro. The closing date of this deal is 15th August, and the deal stage is negotiation done. Now there's a field that says discount in this layout, and here I enter 25. Now when I save this record, it does not get saved because the discount cannot exceed 20%. Now if I save this 20, now the record will just get created inside the CRM. Okay, so that should be great. Lesser than or equal to 20. Now, successfully, the record has been created inside the CRM. Now, how do you create this validation rule? Now, go to Setup, inside your modules and fields. Let me do this for the buyer module, and under Commercial Layout, I have this discount field, and anytime I enter this, it should not be more than 20%. So I choose the module, and then I choose validation rules. So here you can choose a layout, and for me it is commercial. Now I'm going to create the validation rule. Now in the commercial layout, I'm going to choose the discount field. Okay, now let me get back. Let me just change my layout a bit. Now instead of adding the discount field here, let me add it outside the subform. Now I'll just drag and drop a percentage field here. That says discount. Now I get back to validation rules and choose commercial layout. And now I choose create validation rule. And here I choose discount, which is less than or equal to 20%. So once it is exceeded, I want an alert message to show up, which is discount cannot exceed 20%. Now I go to the buyer module. On the top, I just click on the plus button, and using the drop down, I choose a commercial layout. And here I enter the name of the buyer and the email ID of the buyer. And here I enter a value that is greater than 20 and save. Okay, the validation rule did not get applied, maybe. Okay, let's get back and then check the validation rule. Buyer module. Now let's look at the validation rules. I want to create this to the commercial layout. Okay, this rule is on. Okay, so the rule is actually wrong. So you just have to choose greater than or equal to. So when the number is greater than or equal to 20, then you want to exit. Now just go to setup. Now let me go to the buyer module. And here I just go and edit this record and enter this as 20. And now let me just go back and then create a module, create a record. And here I choose and I enter the discount as here it is 25. And there is this validation rule. Now once you save this, you can't save it because it is exceeding 20. So let's try 20 now. Okay. Now again, you can save this record. So this is how you can enter validation rules inside Zoho CRM and manage wrong data getting into your CRM system. Now I hope this was easy, and further you can still customize other components inside your CRM, just like your home tab. Your home tab is going to be the first thing that you see inside the CRM. So you have to you should have necessary components inside the home tab that helps you to plan your day out. Now let me take you to the CRM and show you my home tab. Just beneath your profile icon, there's a little drop down, and you here can choose your home tab. There are some components here like opportunities closing this month, leads by source, and there are some components here. You can just reorder the components. You can choose the ellipse beneath your profile icon and choose reorder. Now you can just change the position of the component, and if you want to add more components, you can just choose the ellipse on the top and choose add component. And here you can choose a dashboard or a custom view or a widget. Now in order to add a widget, you might have to write to us to support@zohocrm.com, or you can easily add a dashboard or a custom view. So here I am choosing a custom view, that is deals. So I want to add I'm going to add unread deals. So the data is being fetched. So you can just click on this ellipse option and choose add component, and you can choose a dashboard, and you can just, okay, this dashboard has been added already. And this is leads by owners. So how many leads have been held by which of the owners is the data. So you can just add components, dashboards, and custom views inside the CRM. Now you could also go back and then choose the ellipse, drop down and choose customize home page. And here there's a button that says new home page. Here again, you can add dashboards, and you could also add custom views. So here I want all activities and all events and so on. And on the top, you have a save and share option. So when you choose the save and share option, you can give this home page a name and then share it with people inside your organization. So you can choose your team leader or your sales representative or any of the users who report to you and save. So once you save, in their drop down, they'll have an option called temp, which they can click and see the information that you've shared. So customizing your home tab to the relevant components that you would want is essential to, and it can help you to customize or look at the data specifically to what you want to see inside the CRM. Now that's not all. That's not enough. If that's not enough, we have further features that will help you to customize your CRM, specifically your email templates. Now you would want to integrate your CRM with emails, and then you would want to send emails to your prospects. Now you need not bring your email templates from elsewhere. You can just create one inside the CRM. Under setup, you have customization, and under that you have templates. Now here you can just click on the add new template and choose a module for which you want to create a template. Now we have different template options here. You may just pick one of them. You choose select, and now you can edit the template. You can enter a name, new year, and you can also enter a subject line for this. I am saying this HNY 2019. That's a very advanced New Year wish. Okay, so here you can just add your company logo, and you can also edit it as per your interest. You can add text components, or you can just drag and drop images if you want, or if you want buttons, call to actions, you could do that. You can also change the font style, and you can also change the font style, size, and other formatting options can be done. And now, if you don't want to create a template inside Zoho CRM, instead you have other templates outside, You can just choose the insert HTML or plain text option here on the top right. And here there's an embed option using which you can just copy paste the HTML code of the template and bring in any template inside the CRM from outside. Now, you could also go to your CRM. Now let me go to the leads module. Now you can select a bunch of records. And on the top, there's a little send email option. And here you can select the template that you've just created. Now you can just choose send and there'll be a mass mail that is sent to all of the users inside your CRM. So this is how easy it is to create templates inside your CRM and send it to your prospects. Well, that brings us to the end of the webinar. We are still open for questions, and thank you for being a part of this webinar, and I hope to see you in one of my webinars in future. So if you have any questions, you may post them in the questions box on your screen, or else you can just send us a tweet to @zohocrm.com, or you can send us a mail to support@zohocrm.com, and we'll be very happy to guide you through. This is Mano Sivanandan signing off from Zoho Customer Success Team, and thanks for being a part of the webinar for me today, and have a great day. Bye-bye.